Beautiful morning, Nigeria. Beautiful morning, Lagos. A beautiful morning to all our viewers out there. It's so good to be here. It's another beautiful day. It's a Thursday, most especially, and it is our health talk day. We just don't talk about those things that matters in our mental state and our emotional state, our financial state, but also our health. Okay, you may have all the money, all the wealth, flourishing, but your health is most important. Many have the privilege of having all the millions they can, but their health is not really what they really want. They can't boast of their health, and that's why we are not living that out, because it's family and values on Galaxy Television. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has always tuned in to be part of the show. I hope your night was restful. Like Joy will say, no man can take 8 hours sleep at the stretch like that. Yes, it's true. But I hope you had, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, or maybe 4, a restful one. May God continue to keep us. It's Thursday, the 14th of March, 2024. My name is Remain Adejoke with David, and my friends call me Olori AJ. Joy Girl is here, and she's looking strong today. Like keeping fit. I watch myself. I was telling you yesterday now. I watch myself and I was like, hey, even your waist, has come down.
The target of keeping fit is actually working, right?
Yes,
it is. Good morning. It's Healthy Thursday, like we used to say, and so when we come to the studio, we come looking fitted. Practicing what we preach. So when we tell you stay healthy, there's a popular saying that says health is wealth, and when you're healthy you can do a lot of things. We cannot be talking about values when we don't talk about your health. It's important we balance the two so that the family will be a healthy place for everyone. I used to say, when you have opportunity to wake up and see a new day, time to tell your creator thank you. The ability for you to wake up, stretch all your hands, do that little walk, do that little run. It's something. It shows that you're fit, you're strong, you're healthy. Remember to always check your BP, sugar level, please. It's very important. And I want to use the opportunity to send a get well soon to our producer. Yes, she's under the weather right now. We are saying we're wishing you a quick recovery. We are praying that the Lord give you strength and grace, so that you get well and join us
on your feet
back in the studio.
On your feet.
We love you, and we pray you get well pretty soon. Welcome, my name is Joy Abu. Of course, it's Family and Values. We are streaming across all our social media platforms. Download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. And of course, our social media handles, for me, it's Joy Abu Official. Joy Abu Official across all the social media platforms. And Olori.
Okay, Olori Adejoke with David on Facebook. Okay, and on Instagram I have at Olori Alajoke. Okay, Olori Alajoke. If you want to know more, get to my Facebook. Then I will have to connect to Instagram. So, like I was saying, health is wealth. Sometimes we don't know what God, the privilege you have from God when we rise up from our bed and we go back to sleep safe and sound. Some people find it difficult to even sleep on another person's bed. Any bed out of their own bed, no matter how inconvenient that bed may be.
Like
you understand. So
everyone they're in a different environment, they find it pretty difficult to sleep. They feel like the environment they need to adjust. 2-3 days before they sleep.
So, it's taking me back to our producer. I pray God gives her sound and perfect healing, and she's back on her feet. I want her back on her feet. That's what is most important. You don't know what God is doing for you when you move around. Like Johnson, as tall as you are, you just move around. You eat what you like. You don't, you don't know what God is doing for you. And that applies to you and I as a mother. When you left that child hale and happy in the school, and they call you hello, madam, please, can you come to the school? You know, the panic where they will reach you.
The panic, the emergency calls.
There was no high blood, there is no temperature, there was nothing. This boy did not do anything. And you know, you'll be wondering inside, before you get to that school, say, you way wrong go.
The truth is, most students don't even display any form of pre-knowledge of sickness. You just notice that they wake up, they are playing, before you know, they are down, and you'll be wondering that, what's happening now? I thought you're supposed to be healthy, you're supposed to be, you know, but yeah.
And the same happens to adults, especially when you're being called. So something happened, but nothing. And you know, the grace we have is they give such call to some people. May we not receive bad news.
Amen.
They give such call to people. Some don't make it. Before you get there, the person is either gone. And they give such call to another. They have the grace and the privilege that the person is still
very much,
you know, getting better
active,
or responding to treatment. And today, this is taking us to the topic we'll be discussing today. Facial palsy. Facial palsy. Really, I have experienced this because one of my daughters actually went through it, and she was like, "Mom, I can't feel this part of mine." I said, "What do you mean by that?" Maybe it's your gum. Because I've had my tooth removed many years back, and you know, I know the dirty the gum, so that I cannot feel the pain, but yeah, I still feel the pain. But the matter is this. I was like, but I didn't want to believe it. I was like, there's nothing, just massage in the car. But it went on for like, I think, a month. And we have to seek the knowledge of medical practitioners to look at, to help us, doctors, and what you need, what is happening, and the thing also went down. And I'm like, hey.
But what was running through your mind when you were experiencing it? Because I tried to understand as a mother, because I remember having a 1-year-old child that was diagnosed with glaucoma, and living with the fact that she has to live all her years putting on glasses. So I'm trying, at that stage, a lot was running through my mind. So I'm trying to understand.
I could not, I was just being, you know, I'm a kind of person that I love challenges. That doesn't mean I want it, but when it comes, I'm ready, and I don't want to leave any stone unturned. So when she was complaining and kept on complaining, what
is actually wrong?
What is actually wrong? And the doctor was saying it's the nerve on that side that is affected. Then someone I know is very close to me said the wife had the same thing when she was pregnant, and you know, her blood pressure shoot out maybe because of what she was eating, blah blah blah. It was explaining, and I got different views. So when the doctor came in, I was just still not like, I have never heard of this. What is the meaning of it? I have to go and look, search, but I was not really happy with myself, because you know, when she's talking once in a while, you see that part a little bit, it looks like she's stylishly, you know, when you're using your tongue to speak. So you think she's trying to demonstration of speaking it, you know, demonstration like that, but it's not. It's as a result of that little defect, the affection, the impact of the facial palsy. And till now, we're still trying to work on the therapy for her to get back, you know, and I'm like, this will really face, it's not even reach down. Thank God. That was the only thing I was just thanking God for, because, you know, when you talk about paralysis, you know, from one part, they say temporary, some have temporary, some have, you know, permanent. You know, it's just a face. So it didn't get to this side. A girl of 16 years old. And,
you know, then you'll be wondering that, where is this one coming from? Let me not even think of the fact that some people will be saying, wow, somebody sends one arrow somewhere. The arrow they send, go back to your sender. You know, but that's it. Yeah. Some people would have taken it from that angle. You were smart enough to seek medical help some people would have, some parents or some mothers would have just said, no, this is fire to fire, back to sender. And then they'll spend weeks in the hospital, in the church, trying to pray. And this is an attack. Do you understand? And the more you're doing that, the more it's getting worse. You know, before you get back to the hospital, it has gone to something else, and then you now start managing situations. But thank God you got that quite early.
It wasn't easy, seriously. And that is why we'll be discussing this, because many people don't really are not aware. Okay, and we really need to speak more about it and let people know that there is something called facial palsy. And we'll be going right now for our What Minute feature, and we'll be right back with our guests. Stay tuned.
Facial palsy. The term facial palsy generally refers to weakness of the facial muscles, mainly resulting from temporary or permanent damage to the facial nerve. When a facial nerve is either not functioning or missing, the muscles in the face do not receive the necessary signals in order to function properly. This results in paralysis of the affected part of the face, which can affect movement of the eyes or the mouth as well as other areas. There are different degrees of facial paralysis. Sometimes only the lower half of the face is affected, sometimes one whole side of the face is affected, and in some cases both sides of the face are affected. Facial paralysis is almost always caused by damage or swelling of the facial nerve, which carries signal from the brain to the muscle of the face, causing damage to the area of the brain that sends signal to the muscle of the face. Viral infections such as Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, bacterial causes such as limb diseases, or following a middle ear infection, traumatic injuries such as fracture to the brain, skull or face, birth trauma, for example, caused by forceps or facial representation delivery. There are many different symptoms that can be associated with facial palsy. It is also often mistakenly assumed that the issue faced by people with facial palsy are purely cosmetic, but in reality they experience a wide range of problems. Symptoms of facial palsy do not cause weakness in your arms or leg. If you experience weakness in your arms or leg as well as weakness on one side of your face, you should seek immediate medical attention. The symptoms grouped together may indicate a stroke. A complete facial palsy on one side of the face affects the brow, eye, cheek, and mouth. This means the facial nerve signal that controls movement in those muscles are not working. Symptoms may improve or worsen over time depending on the type and degree of facial nerve damage and the cause of your facial palsy. Some types of facial palsy will affect sensation, including pain as well as facial movement. This may mean that the nerve which is responsible for sensation has been damaged as well as the facial nerve. The facial nerve controls movement, tear production, saliva production, and taste. Loss of sensation may mean you cannot feel your face when you touch it. Inability to blink or close the eye is a common symptom and needs prompt attention.
Okay, welcome back. It's still Family and Values, and we'll be talking about facial palsy. Facial palsy. You heard it from our mini feature, and myself and Darling Joy, beautiful Joy.
I love that name.
From
Darling Joy, beautiful Joy.
Okay, it's so good when you have somebody next to you, you know. It's not good to ride alone. And so this morning we'll be riding with our doctor, Dr. Wole Adeyefa. He's a medical doctor, and right here from Lagos, is joining us this morning to discuss on facial palsy. Hello, doctor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Wole.
Hello, doc. Now let's call them doc.
How are you doing? Good
Hello,
morning.
doctor.
How are you
Good
today?
morning.
Good morning. How is family as well?
All good, we thank God. I can see you are in transit. Okay, so we're looking
Yes.
at facial palsy, and what is the best way to explain or describe facial palsy?
Okay. In a layman language or in a simple way, I can do this. Facial palsy can just be defined as the weakness of facial muscles, resulting from the temporary or permanent damage to a particular nerve called facial nerve. Take it again. It can simply be described as the weakness of the facial muscles resulting from the temporary or permanent damage of the facial nerve. Facial nerve we're talking about is one of the examples of nerves called cranial nerve. It originates from the brain and it supplies either of the both sides of the faces. I mean, the both sides of our face, both the right and the left. It forms of branches, like 5 branches on each side of our face, controlling the muscles, the movement of our lips, of our eyelids, and in the process, it gives us a kind of, handsome or beautiful look that we always experience. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Wale, I want to ask, is there a certain age group that experiences this kind of health condition, or is there an age? Is this something that can happen across any age at any given time, or should we say from this age to this particular age bracket we should experience such, or we should be looking out for such, or it cuts across any kind of age?
Thank you very much. There is no particular age group that normally experience this. It cuts across all ages. It's even surprising. Sometimes it can be a congenital, which means it can even start from. Okay, it can affect the children, the adolescents, the adults, and even the elderly. Yes, it cuts across all ages. There is no specific age that is affected. Most times it can even be from birth. Yes, due to some, depending on the causes or the beginning. Yes.
Okay, what are the likely reasons that one can experience this facial palsy? What are the causes? What will be the condition that will make one to experience?
You mean the signs or the causes? Hello? Hello? I want to get the question very well. Are you talking about the causes or the signs that one will experience?
The palsy itself. What are the things? What are the causes? What causes it?
Most of the time, idiopathic means the cause is unknown in some cases. But I will give you examples where we can actually, refer to it as a risk factor to facial nerve palsy. In most people, it develops without any, sign or any complication. That in the sense that we can't say this is the major of this problem. Someone can just wake up in the morning and discover that one side of his face is not working or moving the way it was the previous day. And I will give you an example. There's another person called Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy is an unknown cause of facial palsy, which arises suddenly without any form of ailment or disease before the occurrence. And in some people, it can be as a result of surgery to the face, especially in those people that had an accident or probably they had fracture of the facial bone. So if this injury or accident cuts across the passage of the facial nerve, it can result to the weakness of that side of the face. Some people also may have what we call tumor, called cancer, An example of it is pocket lymphoma. Okay, and it's usually or cancer of the parotid gland, because these structures are located along the side where facial nerve passes. So trauma, cancer, or tumor to all these structures can affect the facial nerve. Those are the few causes or the risk factors or the likelihood of developing facial palsy. Thank you very much.
Dr. Wole, I love the fact that you really explained and told us possible reasons or causes how this thing can come up. One of them, you said one can wake up and just experience it. But then I want to ask, is there any medically confirmed prevention for facial palsy? Has there been any, are there drugs that one can take to prevent it from occurring or from happening or something? Medically, are they medical drugs for prevention or confirmation that, okay, at least we hear that for some sicknesses, diabetes, they'll say avoid this, avoid that, avoid that. So medically, is there any medical this thing to prevent facial paralysis?
Thank you very much. Unlike other medical conditions like hypertension, like diabetes mellitus, which, like the way you said, which you can prevent, in most cases, you cannot prevent facial nerve palsy, because if it is something that can be prevented, I know a lot of people will not be developing it. Like I earlier said, you can wake up in the morning and develop it. Yes, previous day you are okay, nothing was, nothing was happening to you. Okay, you just wake up in the morning and you discover that one side of the face is not moving like the other. Okay, so in most cases, it cannot be prevented. But there is an exception. Okay, there is one of those things that normally affects, facial nerve, which is common to a particular disease condition called hypertension. In the case of uncontrolled high blood pressure, in which one of its complications is stroke. We are all familiar with this word, stroke. But medically, we call it cerebrovascular accident. Okay? Stroke is an example of ailment that affects some part of the brain, resulting to the paralysis of one or two parts of. And among the parts that are affected is face, because it cuts across the passage of facial nerve. So if there is facial nerve involvement in a paralysis, in a stroke, okay, that can actually affect one side of the face. So in this way, so
Hello, doctor, are you still there? I think we need to go for this short break. We'll be right back with doctor and take a word of mouth. Don't go anywhere. Just find me a says that every struggle in your life has shaped you into the person you are today. So be thankful for the hard times they have made stronger. That's blue. Okay, even as we join our Zoom guests again, doctor, are you still there? We've been talking about facial palsy, and we're speaking with Dr. Wole Adeyefa. Okay, welcome back, doctor. I want to ask, is there a time frame for those who are medically, those with medical conditions regarding to facial palsy? Are there, time frame, like, okay, we discover you have it, can be treated within a period of so thing. What are the things I can eat? What are the things I should not eat at this time of the process, even though I'm going through the medical,
Thank you very much.
What are those things that we should put into cognizance? Like I told you, my daughter had it, and I was not settled in my mind, but I was trying to to form. Even when the sisters were like, so what are those things that they should work out? I mean, I was like, maybe because she takes too much of flour, and she loves baking, oily stuff and all that. Somebody gave me another, I was hearing different. I wanted to know more. So what are the time frames to treat these people medically, and even their families when they are taking care of them? What should they look out for and not to do and to do?
Oh, hello? Okay.
We are with you, doctor.
Then, thank you very much. Then, as touching the time frame for the recovery or the treatment affected medically, okay, the facial palsy. Yes, and under this section, I would like to just pre-categorize it into three degrees. One, if it is first degree affectation, this is just a mild injury to the facial nerve. And in the space of 8 weeks, there's usually a form of recovery from facial nerve. So some people they just have experience this problem for like 8 weeks. Okay? Then in some people, it can be for like 4 months. And so in them, the recovery will not start until it is after 4 months. But in the third degree affectation of the facial nerve, it can, the recovery may start, but it will never come back to the way it was. So this is a lifetime of facial nerve palsy falls into. That will account for how soon the recovery is going to be. But it has been discovered that in children and adolescents,
it's not an easy journey. So it's really caution. But I want to believe that we've been able to touch one or two things. I wish you can still connect back to him, hopefully. But unfortunately, I think the network is not allowing us, and the environment also, it's so noisy. Thank you so very much, Dr. Wale Adeyefa. I had to, he works with Lagos State, and he was summoned to be at a very important medical operation this morning. So he had to just make sure he would have been here live, but he had to take that permission. I said, "Oh, Lori, don't worry, I'll still be connecting to you." I want to say thank you. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the privilege and the opportunity. Joy.
While doctor was actually talking, I was trying to now understand what it is, because growing up, I had an auntie who was actually suffering from this issue. And at the point we were wondering, somebody that we grew up together, why the sudden, facial? And initially we actually thought, okay, she's trying to do
Form
one guy or squeeze. And I had people tell her that, you see this face you're squeezing and this in your dream, don't worry. But when we now saw that it was actually a very serious case, it was when we discovered that no, this one is beyond what's happening. But her own was I think it got to that point where she was actually admitted for a longer period, because I think it actually affected her hand,
okay,
leg,
that is stroke.
So
that's a partial stroke.
It became partial stroke, I really wanted to ask doctor what people should do.
And that was the question I put in, but unfortunately we couldn't get that out.
You have had a similar
it's
case.
Not funny, my dear.
I want to ask, what did the doctors tell you to do, or avoid this thing? This is what to avoid, or this is what your daughter should avoid at this particular time?
At that time, I think, can I even still remember? Okay, she was just 16, and so I was first not believing her, like I said. And the next thing I heard is I was checking her blood pressure from time to time because she is on the big side. I wanted to be sure it's not anything that has to do with her blood pressure and it's not affecting her face. Then it got to a time also I was thinking maybe she takes because she loved baking. So we've been talking about facial palsy, and you heard it. You need to seek medical attention. You need a medical practitioner, a medical doctor to check and find out what are those things you need to put to use, and those things. Don't go and start putting all the agbo and everything together. You know, we are fond of taking self-medication.
Yes, yes.
Even ordinary headaches, now we just take 3, 4, you know, tablets and say, I want you to quickly leave me. Yeah, you heard it. It can be numbness, it can be headache from the back of your head. It comes with different signs, and so you need to be very, very careful when anything at all. Is it every time I need to go to? Yes. And I like I told someone, Joy, I said, see, no matter how bad it is, that you don't have a medical person as a friend, it may not be there, you may not have the privilege or the opportunity to go to the hospital immediately, but, or even to see that person, because sometimes they have so much patience to deal with. Make sure you have one on your phone. Family, make sure you have one as a family friend that I can always reach out to.
Family doctors to most families should cultivate the habit of having family doctors. But you know, one of the things I actually wanted to ask the doctor before the bad network disconnected us was, is it something that can be corrected through surgery, or it will naturally go?
He said it will naturally go.
So that means it has to do with natural therapy.
Therapy, yeah, that's what that was what I was told.
Home remedies, so massaging, and then
and it will come back to, you know, gradually, because the body, there's a way you do the therapy and certain things you take to make it come back to normal, especially if you have not lived it for a long time, because the earlier the better. If you detect it,
prevention is better than
cure. Prevention is better than cure, but there's no way you can prevent it except for you do your normal checkup, you do the regular things.
I didn't say prevention is better than cure. For those people that, because see, the truth is, so many people, mothers or people out there actually facing this thing, but the field is one arrow. I would still say
this arrow
is
thing.
One arrow from one village or from one enemy, and you know, we are too quick to reacting negativity to things. You know, you feel something and immediately you feel like, one arrow just hits it, and then the time you're supposed to go and see a medical doctor,
you're wasting time.
You're wasting time, and God is looking at you like, hello. You know, I'll give you a very funny scenario.
Okay.
Because the day I went to visit a friend of mine, and she's been complaining of when she wake up, she just see this cobwebs cover her face, and you know, and
yeah,
you know,
that's spiritual things, you know, that way.
I was like, don't worry, I'm coming back to your house to see you. And that day she was so scared of stepping out that she sees this cobwebs come. And when I entered the house, I actually felt that cobweb thing. But immediately, because I'm very observant, so I looked up and I noticed, whoa,
spider webs.
Your whole ceiling is.
So she's not been cleaning.
So why do you think you're not going to have?
You say, mother, even the web will carry you like Spider-Man web.
And then I told her, my friend, this is not spiritual. Use broom and clean up.
Yes, now.
That's what I'm saying.
Fumigation, so yes, it could be expensive.
Yes, you know, some people will feel like they've had this thing, they know it's there, but they are just
spiritually,
like, no, it's spiritual. I'll deal with it in my own spiritual way.
But do you know, sometimes we carry spiritual so much it's laziness that leads to some of these things we call spiritual. That instance now, you're not cleaning, you don't check the ceiling, you don't check the house. Even wall gecko, you need to make sure you get rid of them. What is bringing them to your house? So sometimes you may not be able to, but when you leave home in the morning, if nobody's at home, you can always spray all this fumigation substance.
That's the mindset.
It can help to kill all those insects and those reptiles.
When we discussed about autism, we still said it. This thing is there. You know, you're already experiencing this facial paralysis. Go and seek medical attention. By the time they check medically, because I prefer medically first, let them check. Be sure nothing is wrong with you.
There'll be facial scanning and many other things like that that will be done
too. And you ascertain that, okay, medically they've said I'm fine, then you can use that report to face your creator.
And you know medically many things are coming up from time to time. We don't know them, or even the doctors at times when they try, like they said, we care but God heals. They care, they try whatever they can to make sure that follow this process. You know what, yesterday I said I wanted to go and remove my cast.
You were saying so that you want to go and remove your cast.
And the doctor was like, Olori, when I said next week, he said, Olori, wait till Friday.
Till Friday.
You know, at least I said I just don't want it again. I just want to. So it's good when, even if you cannot get to them physically, make sure you are with them, you know, in contact with calls. It goes a long way. They will be able to help. I remember there was a day I was having this cramp my legs and I could not sit down for so long. And I was, you know, uncomfortable. You know, when start, hey, inside boat, inside any, say God, I had to call Africa. Hello, doctor, where are you? I'm having it. He said, Olori, be calm, don't worry, just do your legs like this. And he gave me, you know, he gave me all the process I need to. Just make sure the blood, let the blood flow very well, and I should carry it. I'm the only one inside the car, so I have to sit in a position that the blood will flow, and I should take water. I should just relax. It will go. And say, you know, so you need a health person as a friend in your family, for yourself, for your children, for your husband, for your wife. It's very good because it will help you to quickly assess them. I will not give them so much. You know, some people like going to the hospital. You have not seen that? They will want to sleep in the hospital, as in sit there morning to night. Any little thing that they'll go sit down there. I have that too. So why somebody wants to go to the hospital? I know. But some just want to stay away from all the noise in the house and just want to stay there. It's so good, Joy. It's so good to be here once again.
For me, I love the fact that we had to discuss this topic today, because it's also an eye-opener. I told you I just remembered an aunt that suffered from this thing, you know. So this is what I'm going to say. Please, aside what we've discussed today, if you notice anything strange in your body or in your system, please quickly go to the nearest hospital or the nearest clinic, healthcare center, and lay your complaint and take it from there. It doesn't need to get to that point where, you know, you're down and everybody's running and everything. So, you know, Healthy Thursday has been a wonderful one, a very educative one. Thank you to Doctor for being on the show today. I know we're expecting you in the studio, but thank you for still keeping an appointment with us. My name still remains Joy Abu. I'll see you tomorrow, yes, as we wrap up the week. Okay, it's still Galactic Television. Other programs are coming immediately after, so please stay tuned. My name is Rimini Luria Dichokiat David. When you feel anything in your spine, in your body, any part of your body, please reach out to professionals and don't do self-medication. It's not the best. Have a lovely day. We love you. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.